Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be taking a look at the Dart Zone Max Dictator. This blaster is from the Dart Zone Max line, which is a line I have not reviewed on this channel before, but I have used the line's darts, which were these red half-length darts, the Max darts, which I've only used on the channel twice, which was I used them first in the chronograph video, and the second time was when I reviewed the Deuce Pro. I didn't even have them during the time I did the Dart Zone Pro Mark II. Interesting, also realized I haven't reviewed a lot of half-length blasters, which this blaster is. The Dictator is a purely half-length blaster. It came out this year, 2022, and has a very interesting magazine system. So yeah, with that all the way, let's get started, as usual, by talking about the box, and then we'll get it open and see how the magazine system works. Starting with the front of the box, there isn't a lot of information on the front that the back doesn't have, but we'll just talk about the few it does. Starting with down here. Starting off, we have one Dictator Ultimate Dart Blaster, two 12-round half-light ammo clips, one stick magazine extender, two detachable tactical sights, 24 max accurate half-length darts, one muzzle brake, and one max eyewear gear. This blaster is 14 plus, because the Dart Zone Max line is essentially the Adventure Force Tactical Strike line, but for target. So it's for an older audience. Also, we can see the contents inside with this flip open cover. Moving on to the back of the box, we can see a little bit more information, a lot more information about the blaster. Back here, we can start off with the front of the blaster here. Here we can see range claims of over 125 feet. I cannot accurately test this because my range is only 50. Here we can also see where the tactical sights attach to. So we have a front and rear sight. We also can see where the muzzle brake attaches, what it looks like a little bit. I mean, yeah, the front of the box has the picture, but here we can kind of see where it attaches. This blaster is also pump action. And we can see our stick magazine extenders. Down here we have our controls. We have a trigger and a safety lock, pretty much standard on all high-powered dart blasters. And also we have our ammo clip release. They refer to things as magazines and clips all over this thing. Onto the back of the blaster, we can kind of see that how this whole system works from this little graphic. From this little graphic down here, we can see that the blaster is loaded through the back of the stock, with the magazines going horizontal. Yeah, kind of see it here. Also, our max eyewear gear. Flipping it over to the front of the box, we can actually get a preview of what the blaster looks like. Cool flip open case, as it throws off the blaster a little bit. Magazine center, magazines, darts, muzzle brake, the blaster, eyewear, magazine extender, yeah, all that stuff. Yeah. So that's enough talking about the box. Might as well take it out and see how it fares. Alright, so here we have the Dictator out of the box. A couple of things. We have our instructions. We have our dart catalog, where you can see the official names of all the darts. The red darts called Ruby darts. I'll refer to them as Max darts. Still refer to them as Max darts. Adventure Force Pro darts are known as Umber darts. Still going to refer to them as Adventure Force Pro. These bamboo darts, I mean, I always refer to them as kind of bamboo darts because kind of weird. These are the second version. These aren't the same that came with the Dart Zone Pro Mark II. These are the new purple tipped versions. You can see that the Sure Shot darts official name is now Chili Darts. I will still refer to them as Sure Shot. And the Adventure Force darts are known as Waffle Tips. I mean, I think I kind of refer to them as waffles, but I'll still refer to them as Adventure Force. Just to talk about what brand they are. Yeah, instructions, those. Other kind of technical things. Let's take the darts out. In your dart package, you have O-rings. These are replacement O-rings. The instructions don't tell you where they go, but I think they go into the pusher for the sealed breech system. So And here's our 24 ruby darts. The max darts. Here we have our muzzle brake, which we can attach to the blaster like so. Friction fit fits in there. Also, I have a Venture Force Tactical Strike muzzle brake, which fits on there pretty well. I will not be testing this blaster with and without the muzzle brake, because testing with other blasters that have these small muzzle brakes, there's literally zero performance difference, because they're not the barrel, you know, so won't be testing them without it. Here we have our tactical sights. Here's our front and rear tactical sights. They should just go on simply by sliding on. You can move any length of the rail. The screw sides go on the side of the blaster with the screws, so just keep that in mind. Magazine extenders, they fit in there. I should also mention something else. I have the front sight from the Deuce Pro. This should be compatible with it. That's going backwards. Ah, gosh. It should go on, but I would recommend not. It's a very tight fit, so that's could be seen as a negative, but I think the front sights will suffice. Anyway, so here's our magazine extenders. They attach and come off pretty easily. Of course, we have our Venture Force magazines, which, oh gosh, yeah, don't put them in because you're gonna start damaging it. These do not fit in that extender. They can only fit these gray ones. And as you can see, I actually recorded this thing. This is the second time recording this. I did try to put the other magazine into this side of it, and yeah. So don't put any other magazines in here besides these gray ones with the little indents. There's our extended magazine. Here's our Pro eye protection, Max eye protection, Max eyewear gear. Yeah, they're pretty standard safety glasses. I mean, they're, you know, just a bonus item. Not anything too special. The nose pad is rubber, and we have the Dart Zone Max logos on either side. Pretty standard, pretty cool. They provide that. Controls, safety, selector, push in for safe. So if it's pushed in on the left side, it's safe. Push on the right side, allows you to fire it. The magazine release is ambidextrous, so it's on both sides. Magazines enter through the stock. It's a big old arrow telling you that put your magazine that way up. Okay. Mine is fairly light. Taking the magazines out, simple as pulling that lever and letting gravity take the magazine out. The other magazines, such as these Venture Force ones, should fit in there. Gravity takes them out. The 15 rounder has a little lump there, but I'm not sure if it's seated properly, but it does fit. It does fit, as you can see, but it's kind of elevated by that little lump, so I'm not too sure if it's seated properly. We'll test it later. Yeah, also it doesn't come out with gravity. You have to pull it out yourself. So, speaking of tests, the tests are going to be done differently today because it is a really hot day outside. So I'm not going to be doing the speed test outside today. I'll be doing it inside at a separate part of the video. But I'll be doing the range and accuracy test outside because I kind of have to. Also, when loading the magazines, I'm going to be loading the Dart Zone on one side, Venture Force on the other. On both tests, I'll be firing 12 for the accuracy of each for the accuracy test, but only 6 for the range test because it's hot outside and I don't want to have to collect darts. And 6 darts is sufficient enough for range data, I would say. And same thing for speed data, but because we'll do it inside, I'll probably fire maybe a couple more because I think this thing has slam fire. Let me read the instructions real quick. Yeah, it has slam. It claims that it's slam fire. Also, something I didn't mention before I completely forget. There's your jam door. Closes automatically or mostly when primed all the way forward, but whatever. Anyway, so yeah, I'll load the magazines up, which is the boring part. It's just standard loading. Yeah, we'll just cut to the accuracy test. Alright, so we have our targets set up. And we have our Dart Zone Max Dictator. Start out with the Dart Zone Max Darts first. And yeah, let's see how this thing fares. Also, forgot to show it off, but there is kind of the sight picture. So, kind of interesting to see how these sights work. So I'm going to go see if we can hit anything. Probably the most targets I've ever hit without another target hitting that other target. And I'm like aiming down the sights proper too. I'm not like trying to look or like aim up or anything. I just... Alright, well let's set those targets up and let's try out the Dart Zone darts. Here we have our Adventure Force darts. And let's see if we can hit anything with them. See if these are any better. I am still absolutely impressed by the performance or the accuracy of this blaster. So let's see if Dart Zone changed anything. Adventure Force changed anything. I'm gonna slam fire it. We have a couple more. Slam fire significantly decreases accuracy, but it's still about the same in accuracy. Let's move on to the range test. Alright, here we are at the range test. As usual, for context, the chicken is 25 feet, the frog is 40, the back wall is 50 feet. Where I'm standing, we will be starting out with 6 shots of Dart Zone. 6 shots should be enough to test a good range. So, hit the back wall. Hit the plant. Back wall. Back wall. Back wall. Wait. Do I need to bring out the tape measure for those? They were hitting the back wall. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. We're gonna quickly switch to our what's that one called? Dart Zone. Oh, by the way, I didn't mention this, but even when the blaster is fully primed, the magazine just comes out. It's a completely different system than standard magazine systems. So you actually can pull the magazine out of this one without damaging the blaster. Anyway, back to Adventure Force. I'm impressed. I'm just gonna move over there and show off the ranges. Okay, so here we have our darts. All of them are in this planter. And all of them hit the back wall, which is 50 feet away. There wasn't much drop either, and I was not shooting at an angle. All of those were shot straight, and they were hitting the wall. I would say maybe about a foot, maybe a foot and a half drop from where I was shooting from this wall, from this back wall here, specifically this part of the wall. So I'm gonna say maybe about, it's 50. I can't test any farther than that. I'll have to probably do like a field or something. Maybe in a follow-up video I'll test the true accuracy of this blaster, but dang. Put the ranges up here, 50 feet for both darts, 50 plus feet, because I cannot test any more of that. Let's move on to the speed test. Alright, so on to the speed test, but before we kind of continue that, I am using a feature that I did not mention, or did not show, in the original chronograph video. I am using the AC adapter. So for the speed test, I will be using full mags, 12 and 12. Also, I've prepared these other ones with a random number and a random assortment of darts to see if these will fire. So let's get started. Starting out with Dart Zone 165, 64, 261, error 3, error, or didn't pick up, 166, 159, 168, 166, 165, 166, 163. No. Alright, we're going to be doing Adventure Force now. See if that's any different. Oh, didn't load one. Let's try it. 159, 133, 147, 159, 154, 166, 162, 158, 134, 120, 166, and we have one more shot. $121. So it appears that 160, high mid, like 165 is pretty much what the Dart Zone darts will be, and then the Adventure Force ones are seemingly all over the place. So the Dart Zone ones beat out the Adventure Force ones, it seems, in terms of speed with the Dictator. But let's just see what it does with these magazines. Other one, I'm probably not going to fire all the darts, but we'll just fire a couple through it, see if it works. Alright, fired that one pretty well. It's time for the 15 rounder. One that kind of goes in at an angle. Head blew right off of that one. You get the point. Alright, it's even compatible with the 15 rounder, which is really nice. This thing's pretty fast and pretty accurate and shoots pretty far, so with that out of the way, let's move on to my final thoughts. So what are my final thoughts on the Dart Zone Max Dictator? But before we do that, as usual, we need to go over where I bought it and how much I spent. This blaster is a Target exclusive, so I bought it at Target for $42.49. That's its sale price, but it's regularly priced at $49.99 USD. So $50 isn't bad, considering what you're getting. Fast shooting, fairly accurate, and really good ranges. usually at this point I would say we're going over pros and cons, but cons wise I can't really think of any. More or less a recommendation of what you should and shouldn't do. This blaster, because of how powerful it is, I would not suggest using it around younger kids because it's a very powerful blaster. Also, I would not recommend using this indoors. This blaster is definitely an outdoor blaster. It's not an indoor one. And yeah, definitely wear eye protection. You should already be wearing some form of eye protection when playing with Nerf anyway, but definitely with this thing. Yeah, so there's not many cons, if any cons. I don't think there's any cons on this thing. I like this thing a lot. It's a lot of good features, and it is an improvement over what I feel like it's based on. In fact, its entire mechanism is based on the Conquest Pro, which was an Adventure Force tactical strike blaster that Dart Zone released a couple years ago, or maybe last year. I forgot when it was. I actually tried reviewing it, but decided on not continuing editing that video because I didn't feel like it just felt off to me, like how I reviewed it. That thing doesn't have a stock. That's the reason why I was a little confused on it. It's really weird. But anyway, with pretty much the cons out of the way and all neutral thoughts, let's move on to pros. So what are the pros? I rambled on long enough about the speed, the accuracy, and the range on this thing, and most of my videos, most of my reviews, I try not to make that a big factor in the pros and cons department, but those are all pretty much, most of those blasters reviews are more in line with toys. This is in line with a piece of sports equipment, so yes, I would say that those stats do matter when it comes to reviewing this blaster, so they're all good. I like its accuracy. I was actually using the sights. Probably mentioned that I did use the sights. I was using the sights during the accuracy test, and they were hitting pretty much on where I was aiming. The ranges were hitting the back wall, so that's over 50 feet, and you know the speed was over 160, so that is a very, very nice, powerful blaster. I overall like the ergonomics of this blaster. Prime is not bad. Trigger pull is not bad. Controls are pretty snappy and nice. The magazine release is very nice. Flipping this magazine over is also a really cool feature. Just flip it over to the other side and load the next one. Also like how it's ambidextrous, so if you're left-handed, you can use this thing pretty well. Sights on this thing are, I love the sights on this thing. They look cool and work pretty well. Blaster has not jammed, even with its weird horizontal magazine system, which you would think it would, but it doesn't. And overall, the look of it, like, it looks like a very futuristic, like, tactical shotgun or something. That's kind of a cool look to it. Definitely better than the Conquest Pro, which kind of looks like a really weird, I don't know how to describe it. Now you can see why I couldn't really review it. It was weird. I really like this blaster a lot, and if it would come to me recommending it, yeah, I would recommend it. Heck, I would even recommend buying it if you had the money. Would recommend buying it not on sale. $50 is a lot, but what you're getting for it, it's not too bad. Also, the fact that it comes with these little glasses too. I would say, yeah, wear eye protection when using this thing, because darts, especially if you shoot at like a wall somewhat close to it, they'll come back. So that'll be the end of the review. Comment your thoughts about this blaster down below. Comment what else you want to see on this channel. Be sure to check out my Deuce Pro video I did a while back. Also, be sure to check out my other reviews also on the channel. Both of those will be linked at the end of this video. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.